For reference, what was your name, please?
My name is Engineer Adedeji Doherty, former State Chairman, Lagos State PDP, and former Chairman of the Presidential Campaign Council in 2023, and also a former member of the Working Committee in the Southwest. I was the Organizing Secretary of the Southwest, and I was also the Financial Secretary of the Southwest PDP.
Okay. Looking at the governorship candidates, that's for the Ondo State governorship election, how popular is the PDP candidate Agbola Ajayi among the electorate in the state?
Well, you know, Agbola Ajayi has always been a member of the People's Democratic Party. Apart from that, he has always been in politics, you understand? And at the end of the day, he has gotten quite a lot of experience in terms of grassroots mobilization. So in terms of his visibility and his acceptance, and then also from the question that you have asked, his popularity, definitely someone that has been campaigning for a couple of months in any state definitely would have become popular by now. So definitely, immediately you are already termed, or you've already won the primary election, you understand, in a state, whoever it is becomes popular almost immediately, you understand. And apart from that, you know, there is a next step, which is your door-to-door campaign, your local government campaign, and things like that. And then, you know, if you've always been philanthropic with youths, with the young people, with the old people, you understand, he put in some little infrastructures in the various local governments, which I know that he did. Do you understand? Then definitely you will be popular enough to get the recognition and the votes you needed in the in the grassroots among the electorate.
Banking on the popularity, how optimistic is PDP concerning when it comes to victory at the poll?
Well, you see, that's a very good question, and I would like to answer that question in a very practical and very sincere way. You see, when you're talking about democracy, I've been part of democracy and in this country for the past 25 plus years, you understand? And I've seen democracy grow from Obasanjo to Yaradua, from Yaradua to Jonathan, from Jonathan, you understand? You can see the trend that PDP has always tried to protect the democracy that we all fought for in this country. You can see Yaradua, even when there were shaky things going on within the electorate and within elections, general elections in Nigeria, you see the stand of the then president Yaradua. Then you see the stand of Goodluck Jonathan. So you see that the trend that the PDP has always brought is to protect democracy, not protect PDP, but to protect democracy. In the instance that we are following now, you understand, right from Buhari down to the present administration, we are seeing a trend which is a dangerous trend. Sorry, I'm deviating a little bit from your question, which is how optimistic are you about you winning the election? You see, when you have a free and fair election, everybody is a winner. Even the loser is a winner. You understand? But when you do not have a free and fair election, then there is a problem. I remember Oshiomhole when he was chairman of APC, shouting in Edo then, one man, one vote, one man, one vote, one man, one vote. Immediately Buhari came in. He started shouting, once you come to APC, your sins are forgiven. These are rhetorics that are not supposed to come from a Democrat. It's not supposed to come, especially from a person with that kind of track record in labor. Do you understand? To come up and say, once you come into APC, your sins are forgiven. Do you understand? So when you hear this kind of people talk rubbish, do you understand? Then you start wondering. Then you start looking at the trend. You see Kogi. Look at what played out in Kogi, especially with the senator, the lady, I can't remember her name. Do you understand? In Kogi State. Now, look at Edo. You know very well that Aswe Ighodalo had the capacity. He was ready. He had endangered himself to the electorate. They had the machinery, which was heavy on ground. And believe me, they have the proof that they won the election, because I know how meticulous Obaseki is. I worked with Obaseki, on different projects when I was state chairman of PDP. You understand? And I know how articulate in gathering evidence Aswe Ighodalo is. I don't know how the APC now won Edo, and they are making so much big deal out of it. And at the end of the day, if the judiciary is not compromised, then Edo will go back to PDP. But going back to your question, in Ondo State, with all the problems that Adedeji has in Ondo State, with the Aketi group, with the APC in there and everything, do you think that the APC, majority of those in APC will work for him? No. Even Aketi's wife is not working for him. Do you understand? So now, you tell me, at the end of the day, which APC should know that I am saying it as a stakeholder in the Southwest. And I know that all our governors, Governor Seyi Makinde, Governor Adeleke, are on top of it in Ondo. At the end of the day, APC is going to try and rig. That is what they know how to do. That is what they do best. That is how they get into every position. They name, they kill, they do everything just to grab power. Do you understand? Which does not show any kind of good signal to the youths coming. Not to say that they don't have their own followers. Not to say that they don't win legitimately in some states. They are good people. I have a lot of friends in the APC, including Mr. President himself. But I want Mr. President to be able to leave a legacy that he has always been fighting for, a legacy that will live after him and after his wife and after his children. A legacy that he will be able to stand up high and say, yes, I became president, and during the time I was president, there were free and fair elections going on in every state. Not a situation whereby you want APC to win in every state. You want APC to take victory in every state by hook or by crook. But now, we are going to go into elections in Ondo on Saturday. And believe me, the people are on ground to get evidence the hardcore evidence. The hardcore evidence must be gotten. The physical sheets that we have won this election in Ondo must be gotten. Once it is gotten, let us see the IREV, because between me and you, I don't believe much in INEC anymore. I don't see INEC as an independent institution or an independent agency, and that is dangerous for democracy in this country. Very, very dangerous. Again, is for us to be able to understand that immediately you don't have, the citizenry do not have confidence in the police, they don't have confidence in INEC, they don't have confidence in the judiciary. God forbid them now taking the law into their own hands, but it will be created by we not doing the correct thing. So to end that question, PDP will win this election if there is a free and fair election in Ondo State.
Looking at the power of incumbency, lucky Adedeji, do you not think probably they will take advantage of incumbency in getting victory for APC?
You know, as I do, that incumbency does not mean victory. It doesn't translate to victory just like that. You understand? Incumbency is half-half. You understand? Incumbency is, oh, we know him. That's basically it. And he has access to money. You understand? But if you do have 70% of what a candidate that is enjoying that situation of incumbency has, and you are channeling it in the right direction, and you have done your homework at the zonal level, at the ward level, and at the community level, at the traditional rulers level, at the religious rulers level, at the youth level, at the old people's level, then the day is yours. And I believe that our candidate, His Excellency Agbola, has done that.
But also, there's a federal might as well.
What do you call federal might? What do you call federal might? Federal might is what I just said. Conspiracy between police, INEC, you know, all the machineries of electioneering. Do you understand? So once you have federal might can be taken in different ways. Federal might in terms of intimidation, federal might in terms of funding, federal might in terms of everything. But it is within that matters. You can have all the federal might. Once your people are not happy with you, they will take your federal might and make it useless to be used.
No,
you understand?
What's your final take ahead of your governorship election this Saturday?
Well, my final take on it, like I said, and I'll repeat myself, is simple. The Ondo election will be won by PDP if there is a free and fair election. Now, if you don't have a free and fair election, then you are going to have a rigged election. And if you have a rigged election, I can tell you for a fact that the PDP will definitely have its documents in place to prove beyond reasonable doubt that this election was rigged. Just like what is coming out in Ondo now, the IREV is bringing up different figures from what the physical paper is bringing up. And that's why I told you that Aswe Ighodalo is a seasoned lawyer. He's not an ordinary lawyer. This is a lawyer that can represent you in the UK, that can represent you in the United States. This is a lawyer that knows about what the power of forensic analysis, where you can use instruments to know who has committed fraud. I believe that with Aswe, with Edo, some people must go to jail for criminal offense, which is fraudulently tampering with documents of government. And the documents of government are easily seen. The documents of government are the result sheets from INEC.
So, your take on the, at least your final take on the election?
My final take on the election is all our supporters should go out and galvanize people to vote. Our supporters are members of the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State. With this election led by Dr. Eddie Olafeso, who is also a seasoned politician, by the way, you understand, should go out and mobilize to the polling units. They should mobilize to the polling units to make sure that people get their votes in. And at the end of the voting, they should also stay there to make sure that their result sheets, that result sheet that is supposed to be given to our agents must be taken and delivered to the constituents, the handlers of the election. Because what also happens is negotiations on those documents. Do you understand? So our members must be very, very, they should be ready to see this kind of things. You understand? Enticement of money for document, money for document, money for document. And this shouldn't fly. They should not let it fly. Our agents should be steadfast. They should make sure that they do not exchange documents for money. Result sheets are very important. Those result sheets are the sheets that can override the IREF. They are the sheets that can override every other thing in the tribunal. And it is very, very difficult. It's very tedious for you to be able to get the result sheets complete. At least 70% of it or 80% is very difficult for you to get it. So I will advise that the People's Democratic Party should get ready for the after the post-election process. After the election, even though if they do not, if the INEC in conjunction with the APC do not rig that election, the PDP will win. But at the end of the day, even with the PDP winning, the APC will go to court trying to upturn that election. And if they don't have the documents, so it's a two-edged sword. You must have your documents not only to win your election if you are rigged, but to also hold your election. You understand? To also protect your election even after you have won. You understand? Because the APC fight to the end when it comes to electioneering. And I believe that you will not hear the end of it if PDP wins that election. And I believe that that is going to be the case. So we must get ready for the post-election.
I'm seeing a perspective to your own perspective. Should I say I'm getting to see your perspective to INEC. How convinced when it comes to neutrality on INEC's part?
The INEC is not, they've shown that they are not neutral. They've shown when an INEC a returning officer can say to people that they should go, they should go to court. You understand? The INEC officer is not supposed to say anything like that. If you are not happy with our result, go to court. You understand? And this issue of if you are not happy, go to court. If you are not happy, go to court. This issue is going to boomerang sometime later down the line. Sometime down the line. It's going to either boomerang on whoever is leading the country at that time, or boomerang on the judiciary. You understand? Or boomerang on the INEC itself. And also, it will touch on the person that is rigging. You understand? This is quite evident. It is building up. You understand? We can see it. We can feel it. It is not when there is anarchy in the land and then you throw out police. Then you will now say that, you know, you want to keep the peace. The person has been arrested for treasonable offense. The person has been... all these things aren't going to work after a while. They are not going to work because even the military that you are sending in, the police that you are sending in, all their families are also suffering the same thing. And by the time who comes to shove, they will stand with the people. We have seen it happen in other countries, and it will happen. You understand? So you can continue lying. You can continue deceiving. You can continue bragging. Do you understand? But you only have one state. Every Nigerian comes from a state. You understand? So if you have a record attached to such, then you will either hide your face in your state or you will live outside your state at a particular time in this country. And I can see it. You understand? So I will advise politicians. Now I'm putting a blanket on politicians that they should be aware that a failure of any administration, whether it be PDP or APC or any form of government, even the local government, is a failure on democracy. The failure of government to conduct a free and fair election is a slap on the face of those that have struggled for the existence of this democracy that we are practicing. And also, you know what? It also it's also a slap on the face of those countries that are practicing democracy, even in the international community. And that is something that Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should look out for. He should look out for a legacy, a good legacy, rather than what those around him are trying to cook while he's in government. Thank you.
Thanks, precious time.